COSATU's Zwelinzima Vavi says they still hope to meet Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe ahead of the ANC's elective conference in Mangaung next month. And the SABC says it stands by a decision guided by its editorial code not to flight an advertisement depicting President Jacob Zuma feeding his family on a budget meal of fish and chips. I'm Richard Brooks. COSATU's General Secretary Zwelinzima Vavi says they still hope to meet Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe ahead of the ANC's elective conference in Mangaung next month. Vavi says while they will not be making any nominations for leadership, they hope Motlanthe will be among the top 6 leaders again.
COSATU have no right to nominate ANC leaders. But COSATU has a right to influence what happens in the ANC. The ANC 53rd National Conference is about unity. And secondly, is about the second phase of radical transformation so that we can ensure that we can have serious and real economic empowerment of our people.
The SABC says it stands by a decision guided by its editorial code not to flight an advertisement depicting President Jacob Zuma feeding his family on a budget meal of fish and chips. Acting SABC COO Claudi Motswaneng says as a public broadcaster they are bound to do what they believe is right.
SABC, we stand by our decision. We are a public broadcaster. Before we think about commission, we think about our mandate and our editorial policy. In this case, we have applied our own editorial policy, and we stand with that editorial policy. Freedom of speech comes with accountability and responsibility. In this case, we are responsible and accountable.
Farm Workers Union Bawusa says a planned meeting between representatives of unions, farmers and the CCMA will go ahead today. This is despite an announcement on Tuesday by Labour Minister Mildred Oliphant that the minimum wage can only be reviewed in April next year. Oliphant said the Basic Conditions of Employment Act stipulates that the sectoral determination could only be reviewed once it's been in place for 12 months, which will be April next year. Workers earlier suspended their strike in demand of a 150 Rand daily wage to next Tuesday to give government more time to review wage agreements in the sector. Here's Bawusa spokesperson Nozi Pieterse.
We will not be deterred. We'll continue with where we left off, and that was a firm commitment from organized agriculture to negotiate. We also had an agreement that there will be task teams working on the particular issues.
The Northwest Education Department says it will be compiling a list of all pregnant learners in schools across the province. This is in a bid to gather information and to understand the reasons behind teenage pregnancy, which is reportedly high in most schools. The social cluster, which includes departments of health, education, sports, arts and culture, visited Barolong High School in Mahikeng, where 17 learners are pregnant, some in their last trimester. MEC for Education, Louisa Mabe, explains.
I gave out an instruction that said, let's get statistics of all the schools in the province so that we know how many children are affected. And at the same time, we are going to profile those learners who are pregnant to check amongst them who have been impregnated by the teachers so that we take action against those teachers. But even those that have not been impregnated by teachers, its parents, they will have to help them to go and lay maintenance charges.